The goal of Film 2048 is to predict which contemporary films will be considered classics in 2048. Though we cannot predict the future, we know that certain intrinsic human values that have been consistent across generations will still be prevalent 30 years from now. Thus, if those themes are there, and the film's technical elements and narrative DNA don't lose their power, we're fairly confident that these films will stay in the minds and hearts of cinephiles, both young and old. But a concern comes to mind. How are we going to judge a movie in 2048 if it takes place in 2049? It's one thing to predict the moral zeitgeist, but it's another thing to predict the minutiae of future life, from transportation to work to what people actually do while they're at work. Many filmmakers have tried to predict the future in science fiction, and while some have gotten a few things right, others got just about everything wrong. But what if I told you that prescience has nothing to do with the aging of a sci-fi film? Because these films do get a lot wrong. 2001: A Space Odyssey especially. 17 years after when it took place, life in space is still not a common thing. Also, we haven't even gotten to Mars, let alone Jupiter, as the film portrays. And notice how many products are from Pan Am. Well, Pan Am actually did collapse in 1991. Aaron Sorkin once said, "Being as much like a human as possible isn't one of the parts of drama." It would be the equivalent of a singer trying their hardest to make their voice sound like a musical instrument. It would be a cool thing to do, but other than that, wouldn't you rather listen to a flute? That's how I feel, and how many people feel about science fiction. Science fiction isn't trying to predict a realistic, exact life. It's supposed to portray a provocative, entertaining, and most of all, visual experience. Think about how contemporary films have tried to integrate technology use into the narrative. Some directors have made it compelling, like Olivier Assayas in Personal Shopper. With others, well, let's just say when you leave your theater, you just want to forget about technology and watch Barry Lyndon for the rest of our lives. So if we don't even want a realistic portrayal of today's life, we shouldn't limit ourselves as to portraying future life. Now, some sci-fis do get the future right while still garnering critical praise and pushing forward the genre. 12 years after its 2000 release, Children of Men has garnered newfound admiration after Brexit. One can say that this film predicted our present day's global climate, refugee crisis, and reprioritized nationalism. This is just a bonus, though. Its real merit goes to elements like the cinematography and Alfonso Cuarón's steady direction and the theme of giving up yourself for a greater cause. But what do you think? Do you think the contemporary science fiction films that will live on in 2048 are the ones that will depict life accurately? Or is it more based in craft? Feel free to comment below with your thoughts, and remember to check out film2048.wordpress.com for all things future in film.